it's been almost a week since Saturday night's main event this past Saturday, and already this past week has been a very chaotic one, to say the very least. Not only did we see some of NXT's biggest stars make their appearance at Saturday night's main event, but we also saw one of the most ungodly things ever. And that was John Cena tapping out to a submission. The last person that he tapped out to was indeed, funny enough, Kurt Angle. He was the last person that John Cena tapped out to. And from that point up until now, he did not tap out at all. Sure, he might have passed out, but he never tapped out. However, we also discovered something that has shocked the entire WWE universe, and that is the fact that the current NXT champion, Oba Femi, has made claims that he's ready for the main roster. This is actually a bit of an interesting ordeal because Oba Femi has went down in history as I'm putting on this bracelet as arguably one of the most dominant NXT champions we've had in the last 8 years. The last person that had a reign as dominant as Oba's was Braun Breaker, holding on to the NXT title for practically an entire calendar year, which was a major statement on the side of Braun Breaker. Oba Femi in a recent interview stated that he feels like after his match with Cody Rhodes, he feels like that now he is ready to go up against the biggest names in WWE, including guys like Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, who we saw this past Monday on Raw was the masked man behind War Games, and this past Monday. Who else? Guys like Braun Breaker, guys like Bronson Reed, guys like Logan Paul, guys like The New Day, the Usos, guys like who else? Roman Reigns, Gunther, just to name a few. He feels like that he is ready for that top spot. And honestly, I don't know. A part of me says that he is ready, but there's another part of me that says that he isn't. And here's why. One thing that we've learned from Oba Femi from his time in NXT is that Oba Femi has proven to be again as I stated, one of the most dominant champions in NXT. As of right now, there isn't anyone on the NXT roster that can take that torch and bring it up to the levels that guys like Tommaso Ciampa put up, guys like Adam Cole put up, guys like Johnny Gargano put up. There isn't anybody that can reach those levels in NXT. The only other person that could have the potential is Javon Evans. However, last Tuesday, not this past Tuesday, but last week on NXT, Javon Evans, he decided to pull a Roxanne Perez. And what I mean by that is when Roxanne Perez became the first ever Women's Iron Survivor winner, she within 2 weeks, literally within 2 weeks, challenged Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's title, and it completely backfired. Then at New Year's Evil, Roxanne Perez got another shot, and it worked out. So I have no doubt in my mind that Javon Evans is probably going to be the next Roxanne Perez, and at New Year's Evil, he can potentially walk out as the NXT champion, which would make Obafemi a transitional champion, which some people believe that by having Obafemi become a transitional champion, it lowers Obafemi's standards from a top star to a mid mid carder, but I don't see it that way. I think it's excuse me. I think it's WWE's way of telling Obafemi, hey, you did everything you wanted to do in NXT. There's the door. You got two options, either Raw or SmackDown. Pick your door, go there. Literally, that's my thinking. But in reality, I feel like Obafemi is better suited to stay in NXT for a little bit longer because of that fact, right? The fact that there isn't anyone right now that can take that top spot and become the champion that fans want to see. There really isn't anybody that can. Sure, Javon Evans could, but the problem is that right now, the entire NXT locker room has been put on notice with the return of Tony D'Angelo. So it's safe to say that maybe it's Tony D that might potentially take that top spot at a later time. And for those who don't know, Tony D'Angelo, we had not seen him since what, July? I want to say it's been since like June or July of this year, where he was in that family business triple threat against Stax and Luca Crucifino, who we hadn't seen him in a long time. In fact, I don't even know if he's still in WWE. In fact, here we are, Luca Crucifino. I mean, it says here that he's still with WWE, but there hasn't really been anything going on. No one knows. No one knows if they're gonna let him go or what the hell. I don't know. But Tony D'Angelo picked up the win and set his hat atop of the ring post as a sign that the era of the D'Angelo family was done. But now with him back in NXT, the question becomes, can he become that guy? Can he become the guy to take that top spot and re-elevate it to heights that guys like Adam Cole set, guys like Tommaso Ciampa set? Is that possible? 100% yes, it is absolutely possible, but I don't think it'll be possible for Javon Evans, because Javon Evans, yeah, sure, he may be good. Yeah, sure, he might have picked up quite a few wins over the last couple months. Yeah, sure, he's gotten a lot of momentum coming out of Saturday night's main event. Yeah, sure, he picked up a huge win over The Miz on SmackDown last week. The problem is that he's still in his early 20s, and many people believe that he isn't ready. Do I believe it? In a matter of speaking, yes, I do believe it, but at the same time, all the momentum that he's gained over that he's acquired over the last couple months can potentially lead him to become the new NXT champion. But as far as Obafemi goes, again, a part of me is saying that he isn't ready because of all those reasons that I brought up. But here's the one reason why I believe that he could be ready for the main roster, and the answer is this: with WrestleMania looming, with WrestleMania season literally right around the corner, we could potentially see Obafemi have a dominant run in the men's Royal Rumble match, which is very possible for the long run. If he does get called up to the main roster on the night of the Royal Rumble, and he ends up on SmackDown, imagine how dominant Obafemi can be on SmackDown. But imagine him on Raw. Imagine him going after the Intercontinental Championship. Imagine Obafemi breaking Gunther's reign as Intercontinental Champion. Obafemi can potentially become that guy, and it's very possible. But one thing that we have to remember is that Obafemi had only been a part of the WWE for only a few years, and already he's a former NXT breakout tournament winner. He's a former NXT North American champion. He's a 2-time NXT champion, and he's also the winner of last year's Iron Survivor Challenge 2024. He went on back in January of this year, 2025, went on to become NXT champion, and in fact, Obafemi is one of the only guys. Is one of like 2, maybe 3 people that became NXT champion twice in the same year. Hardly anybody's been able to do that. I know that Shinsuke Nakamura did it. I know that Samoa Joe did it, and they were the only ones. In fact, I believe Braun Breaker was the 4th, and I think Karrion Kross? No, Karrion Kross didn't become champion twice in the same year. He became champion twice in 2 separate years. So it was in 2020 that they became champion, and then he regained the title in 2021. So, yeah, a lot of pressure. So there's definitely a lot of pressure on the side of Obafemi to re-elevate NXT to the heights that no one would ever expect. But again, that buys into the big question: is he ready for the main roster? And in my honest opinion, if I'm being completely honest, yes, I do believe he is ready for the main roster. But how should that happen? How should he get called up to the main roster in time for the Royal Rumble? The answer is simple. The answer is very, very simple. New Year's Evil, he drops the title to Javon Evans, because we found out that Javon Evans will be getting another shot at the NXT title at New Year's Evil. In less than a few weeks. Femi drops the title to Javon Evans. Javon Evans gives Leon Slater his opportunity at the NXT title. And then from that point forward, they just they could do whatever they want with the NXT title. Obafemi joins the SmackDown roster within 2 weeks, and then ends up in the men's Royal Rumble match, which honestly I would love to see that. I think it would really be interesting to see how dominant he could be in the men's Royal Rumble match. But I want to get your guys' opinion and your thoughts on this idea. Let me know down in the comments below, and that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.